Hello, it's been a while. I feel like I haven't done an energy update for a hot minute in the hot seat. I have indeed obviously had quite a busy few months off to Egypt and then came back and then went off to Avalon for my own personal 9-day pilgrimage solo retreat vibe. Probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. Rather give me a dark temple to climb through in Egypt than go and sit with myself and face my stuff on my own. That was a very, very powerful experience, but it is very, very important that I share this here because this is a post full moon update, energy update, which is kind of like, which is basically dovetailing my experience in Avalon, the 9-day retreat, because I went there to go and heal my wounded divine feminine, okay, because that's what Avalon's all about. It's the goddess, it's the priestess, it's all of the things. So of course, you know, like now we are moving into union like so fast, and you know the masculine's taken its healthy place and so is the divine feminine. So there's a little bit of work to do now. There's a little bit of like reshuffling, guidance, you know what I mean, completion codes to actually sign off on. And you know, when I was in Egypt, the twin flame frequencies came in very, very strong, and we had a lot of married couples. Well, I had a few married couples, and you know, there was an equal balance between physical men and physical women, and we were very much working with the twin flame frequencies, and that's what we did. And then of course I went to Avalon and I went on my own steam to actually be non-communicada for 9 days, 9 being a very, very sacred grail number and of completion. And I went straight to there after I went to Egypt to actually heal myself, you know, to actually really access the divine feminine wounding where I haven't been able to receive. And since I came back, there's been a very, very powerful energy of completion. And even when I was there on the land, I had a vision of in a healing that I was receiving, and Sekhmet came and she clapped her paws together and then she said, "It is done." And that she did when in the vision, I was lying in the Great Pyramid. When I first lay and received healing on the lands of Avalon on one of the first days, I was very much seen in the Great Pyramid with candles around me healing. And then obviously the days that ensued were deep, deep diving into my wounded self, you know, the divine mother, the waters, the well, just restoration, rejuvenation and all the things. And then when I came to the last day, as I say, Sekhmet came in powerfully, clapped her hands and said, "It is done." And I felt that in my being, because what I had walked through in those 9 days was kind of almost like a condensed version of what we are actually going through in a massive past life critical point right now. So the full moon, okay, in Capricorn came with a very, very big energy. It's still around right now. Karmic endings, okay? It's not just, it's another death. It's a huge karmic ending. Microcycle. They say that it stems from 2008. What were you doing in 2008? Who were you in 2008? What was going on there? Take that from 2008 to now. What was the biggest challenges that you've had since that time? Because that is what's dying. That's what you're letting go of. That's the wounding. That is completion. Now remember, completion, dying, death, endings can be fucking traumatic, excuse my French, but I really feel like I need to F-bomb right now, because where we are right now ain't for sissies, man. It ain't for sissies. My family, my starseed family all over the world I speak to, everyone is going through something significantly challenging, and it's not easy, but it's not coming at you, bro. It's dying, and we know that, but we still have to walk through it, right? And we're actually moving into the Lionsgate portal. Many people think it opens on the 8th. No, it opens on the 26th. And it actually starts 26th of this month. You'll start to feel the energies coming in. I'm already feeling it. And then we kind of go to the 8th, and then they say it closes on the 12th. It doesn't. Keep it open for the rest of the month. You'll feel those energies. So let's not put a cap on these Lionsgate energies that are coming in, because these are the lion roars that you're going to need now. This is a proclaiming, or rather acceptance of core power. I'm going to do videos on this because I've done this as Sekhmet. This is lion energy. This is Marie's gig, okay? So I'm going to do videos on this to come, but we are moving into lion territory now. And that is where we find our lions roar. So courage will become you, okay? And you will be able to proclaim your power. But right now we're building up to that. So we're starting to kind of blow on the embers of the fire of, you know, getting the solar plexus fired up to actually action your center of will to step into the next stage. But right now we're all dying. We're all letting go of something. I just felt grief grief-stricken because so much is going on in my life. My daughter is finishing school for the last time, which means I am now school-free. My son I left in London when I was in England now because he's starting his life there. And I'm like, it's not empty nest, it's just an end of a cycle. Trust me, I'm very happy to actually have my life with my husband now, to be a real gyppo, a gypsy, and just jump around the world free, you know, without worrying about school holidays and getting back to school. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's still a death nonetheless. That's just one of the things. But I'm walking around with like this pit in my stomach, that there is a death, anxiety. And, you know, we're kind of vibrating in that. And it's not a nice place to be in. However, we have to expand into that. And this is, I've got a whole list here. This is what's been coming through to me, right? The biggest aspect, okay, is being shown to you right now. Okay. So for me, mine is all about receiving. So I've been in Avalon doing all of the healing to receive, and that was all being nurtured and held. And now I've come back to my life because now I have to integrate all of that. I can't just live in Avalon around the well. I mean, I could, but it's not realistic. The whole purpose of that is taking that healing and energy, same as I do with Egypt, and bringing it into my everyday life. That's hard. So I'm busy kind of like bringing that into this space here where I actually live every single day. Okay. And that's a process. All right. So now it's not fun for me right now. And it's not fun for many of us. So acceptance of where you're at. Just taking a beat and taking a breath and just going, you know what? This is where I'm at right now. And that's okay. Even when I say that, I feel my heart chakra relax. It's okay. It's not going to be here like this forever, but this is where I'm at right now. And that's okay. So acceptance is the gateway and the key to joy. So until we accept where we're at, we will not be able to find a flow. Now, this is all about death, rebirth, and resurrection, okay? So we are essentially going through a death, okay? We then want to move into the rebirth, which is the acceptance, and then resurrection is going to be granted to us through forgiveness, all right? Now, forgiveness, we all do an eye roll and we go, oh, forgiveness, yeah, okay, forgive. Do you know what I mean? But it's so true because Isis says, unless we forgive everyone and everything, we cannot pass through into the other world, the next world. And when, you know, the new earth, whatever you want to call it, we can't pass into that timeline, okay? And that is basically joy. Joy is success. That's what we're working towards here. And that comes through the union. So until we have forgiven ourselves, until we've forgiven that person who's just really done you a dirty or whatever, they are all mirrors of you. So we have to get right on all of this. So on the last day, my 9th day of my pilgrimage, on the very last day, I mean, I'm going to write a book about the 9 days because it actually speaks of the death, rebirth, and resurrection rites all the way through. That's why I lived for 9 days. But on the last day, I mean, you can't write this stuff. At the last day, on the last hour, literally in the afternoon, evening, I sat in ceremony with someone who had a dog called Anubis. I have a dog called Anubis. And that was in the healing room with me. I thought, this is craziness, you know what I mean? But anyway, I had a dog called Anubis and a priestess from Avalon. And we worked on this final session of my 9-day pilgrimage. And do you know what came up? Forgiveness. And man, did I cry. Forgiveness. And it wasn't just for me, it was ancestral. This is a lot of ancestral stuff we're working through right now, which is why it's so flipping big, right? But anyway, I ended on forgiveness and then I went away and I came out of it and I was like, that was the last energy. That was the last key code, forgiveness. So we go through the death. We got to let go to go through the death. Then we go through that kind of like death into rebirth. It's a little bit where the resistance really comes in, which is kind of where we are right now. Acceptance of where you are at to allow the waters of life to start to birth something new. We need acceptance for those waters to flow, because if you slam it and resist it, you stop the waters from running, then we get toxins in the water, it's stagnant, nothing happens. We got to let it flow. We have to let it flow to let something else better come through. So no contraction, expansion. And then for us to really flow into the next place and get granted that new timeline, it's forgiveness. So those are the key codes that I was given. Let go, acceptance, forgiveness, right? So that's my sharing for today. And I wanted to just do a video at least because, like I say, apologies for me being here and then not here, but I find it incredibly difficult to actually share consistently when I'm going through such a transformational process myself. So it is not my intention to be here and then not here for the next 2 weeks or whatever. There's a lot going on this side. But I am going to endeavor to share all of my magical teachings and journalings. It's all magical in this very book here. This is the whole Avalon tour. Marie's blood, sweat and tears. All of her experiences are right in here. And I'm going to be sharing it with you all once I kind of alchemically decode the processes and bring all the lessons out in it. Do you know what I mean? But that's what I've been doing. I've been going through my own death. So, love for self, I suppose. You know what I mean? And knowing that you're not on your own. But anyway, I will be sharing a lot more as we go along now, because I've been traveling this whole year, and now it's time just to allow everything to flow and then go and then flow a bit more. Anyway, if this is reaching you and you're going through a really, really hard time, know that you're not on your own. If this is reaching you and you're going through an amazing time of rebirth, thank you for holding it down for the rest of us. And if this is just reaching you, full stop, thanks for being on my YouTube channel. Peace and love, always. Mwah.